What is up, IGs? My name is VTR and welcome back to the reaction video, and today we're going to be reacting to bonus Bronies react to Collegehumor is My Little Brony. We reacted to the normal video, now we're going to react to the bonus. A lot of people who do the reactions to the Bronies reacts don't react to these, so I thought I'd stick out and I'll do them. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Welcome to the bonus video for Bronies React to Collegehumor. Kind of going back to the roots of Bronies React. I feel like this video, if anything, it could show is that we have the ability to laugh at ourselves. We can't take ourselves too seriously. We do in fact like the show My Little Pony. People aren't going to understand, and that's totally okay. We all have different opinions. Some people hated that video, others loved the video, and then there were a lot in between. Bonus video, enjoy! I'm not laughing because it's funny. Are there people in the fandom like this? Is this the norm?
Like I said, yeah, there are people like this in the fandom.
Every large fandom has its special members.
Especially with the whole Howard Stern incident.
There's people like that in every fandom.
It vast so many different types of personalities and people.
It's definitely the exception and not the norm. By a margin, it's like this big.
I'm sure there's a couple people like this.
I go crazy about this stuff.
Would I say that represents Bronies as a whole accurately?
God, no. God help us if it was. There are plenty of fandoms where this is the norm, but it's not ours.
Every Brony I know, including myself, isn't like that.
You can look at any of the handsome bastards in this video. Trust me, it's not the norm.
With the amount of diversity that you have in a fandom like this, yeah, you're gonna have the extreme.
There's very diverse in this fandom.
Like that.
Most of the people that I actually met, like most of the Bronies, are actually pretty normal when it comes to something like that.
Most of the people I know, great people.
The way he acts is the fact that, you know, makes us all feel a bit offended about how the way he does that.
This is definitely one of the things that people are gonna rag on just because, oh hey, look, stereotypes.
It's not the norm, it's not even close to what we are. I think most of us are pretty normal.
I mean, hell, look at Trekkies. Most people see most Star Trek geeks as being fat, overweight people in these, you know, tight Star Trek shirts walking around with their guts hanging out. Most people view anime conventions as Meaty Moon walking around with his hairy belly up, you know, exposed and neck beard going all the way out and down. So I mean, it's only natural that people are gonna be like, oh well, Bronies are the same thing. No, it's not the norm.
Did you meet someone like this at BronyCon? To be honest, the prospect of meeting someone like this is probably the only reason I'm glad I was on deployment for BronyCon.
I did not meet anyone like that.
No comment?
It was a pretty interesting group, and not interesting in the kind of way, but interesting in the kind of way.
So I mean, hell, that's a plus, right? And if you don't spot somebody or meet or notice somebody like that amongst the 4,000 plus attendees, that's got to be a good sign.
There was sure lots of neckbeards and spaghetti.
There was nobody there that really struck me as subversive or even really all that odd.
There were so many awesome people that I really wasn't paying attention.
For the most part, is a bunch of adults, both male and female, just kind of hanging out and having a good time.
Sometimes I think Bronies can take themselves too seriously and think like, oh, how dare he if not portrayeth us right in the eyes of thine lord, aka Lauren Faust.
If a guy like this actually existed, do you think he'd be at a place like BronyCon?
There might be guys out there who act
Probably
like
not.
They don't hurt anybody.
I was in BronyCon, I had a wonderful time.
Each one of those pony toys was probably at least $5 or $6.
And I don't think that, you know, throughout our experience with the con, that there was anyone that we met that was like this.
50, 60 of them, that's a lot of money. That's a strip of BronyCon right there.
I don't think I ever met somebody who was that creepy to the point that he brought a freaking flashlight to show off that he's a clubber.
You into my bedroom. No, that's not the way it is. Well, at least, I don't know, maybe there's some guy out there who is. I don't know. Don't ask me that question again.
Do you think a Brony worked on this video? Oh yeah. No way.
Brony.
Someone had to
work on this video.
Absolutely not.
I don't think a Brony worked on this video.
No, I don't think so.
It's possible, I guess.
I don't think a Brony would.
I think that one fact was true though.
There could be somebody who did a really good research.
Maybe.
If a Brony did work on this video, then either they're A, doing it to spite the Brony community as a whole, or B, they know how to laugh at themselves.
Yeah, he probably did.
Oh yeah, no question about it. which is why I can laugh at it. It's too intelligent. It knows too much about us for me to completely disown it.
Yeah.
It's speaking to
Wouldn't
the
surprise
things that
me.
we're all sort of insecure about in ourselves, like, oh god, is this how I appear to the world?
You saw how legit that was with the tic-tac-toe answer.
They got all the references right, all the colours and names.
I would say, yeah.
And in order to play on those sort of internal fears that we all possess as members of the fandom, someone who knows it has to have written it or been part of it in some capacity.
It was either a hater that obsesses over the show, because you know they're out there.
Counterintuitive, anti-circle jerking for there not to have been someone who knows.
As somebody who was working the video knows very well that if you're putting something as big as college humor, many people are going to watch it.
Might be in a Brony said, hey, let's laugh at ourselves.
People who don't watch the show, don't know anything about Bronies, will watch the video and assume the wrong idea.
Might have been a homestuck person.
A Brony wouldn't work on this video, in my opinion.
Do you collect pony toys?
Yeah, okay, I mean, that's one part of the community where I'm kind of like, hey, I don't want to play with doll. Okay.
First of all, she is not a doll. She is my friend.
I'll get maybe one or two now and then if it catches my eye.
It's time consuming and I don't have a lot of time considering my job.
When Badashir, I saw her at Walmart, and I took her home, and I even cut her mane. Yeah, check that out.
When something like that starts, it never stops.
I've never gone out and purchased one.
I do indeed. And there's nothing wrong with that. Rainbow fucking... Oh, I need to cut your hair, don't I?
Have I walked down the aisle? Yeah, checked out what they got.
I like to support the franchise, I guess. It's something I love. I go and buy shit from it.
I have a bunch of...
Yeah, and why? I've actually gotten them as presents from friends.
I don't go out of my way to collect the pony toys.
Yeah.
Little trinkets to have.
I do have some in my room.
I've bought a couple here and there.
It's like...
I bought a couple and I've gotten gifts.
I buy Ibanez guitars.
Not because I want to put them on a shelf and like hang on to them and worship them and, you know, fawn over them. Just, you know, purely for decorative purposes. I mean, you've all seen this. It just lives on my desk downstairs.
It's not merchandise I can do anything with.
It's just aesthetics.
When I like something, I collect a lot of what I can find from it.
Plenty of other fun stuff down here in my basement. I mean, you know, diecast cars.
I like to know that I own something I love.
I did have a Lego jet. Kind of, cat knocked it over.
Is this stereotype getting overused? Why do you think it prevails?
Stereotypes like these are really old. They predate Bronies.
It's getting old for geek culture in general.
Is it getting old?
Yeah.
Are people getting upset? Yeah.
The only reason Collegehumor did it is now that we're quite a growing subculture. People know about us.
I think as long as non-Bronies exist, so will the stereotypes.
Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, video game nerds, we all kind of get slapped with that stigma.
Yeah, he's right, we do.
Just because there's nothing new.
It was old the day it began.
Basically beating a dead horse, no pun intended.
But people still don't understand us.
It's so easy to rip on so many other aspects of this fandom.
It prevails because it's the most extreme.
You pick the low-hanging fruit.
The stereotype is still existing among people that watch Star Wars and Star Trek.
They're looking for an excuse to write it off.
It can be avoided.
I feel it's really old and overused.
Otherwise, they have to consider it, even if they're considering it in a negative capacity, in a critical way. They still have to think about it legitimately. And the last thing that people who are threatened by this want to do is think about it with any semblance of legitimacy.
A lot of that
True.
attention that
this reaction is saying true. There's not a lot of over-the-top reaction to these.
They don't want us to look at this. Let's bring it up!
People are going to have a hard time letting go of the stereotype, especially the critics, especially the people who don't want to think about it, the people who don't want to give us any credit whatsoever.
They decide to bring it out into the open, and then everybody is just like, oh, Mother of God, we're not actually like this.
It's human nature to bash what we don't understand.
People are obviously going to think that because you're trying to hide it, that this is the truth.
They're going to cling to this because it makes it easy for them to write us off.
I think they're right to let us shy. Thank you so much.
The more you try to keep a side of something away from somebody, the more damaging it's going to be when it gets out.
It won't become like a fandom, it will become like a cultural sign, like the Star Trek did. That, for example, you can see like in movies and shows, like in the future that will be referencing multi-pony because people were attached to it to a point that it actually changed many people's lives positively.
Exactly.
And maybe even negatively, like if you think that way, I don't know.
You
Well,
try
there
to hide
has
the
been.
fact that you do naughty things to this colored horse. But we're not all like that. You, sir, are a liar and a fiend.
Yay.
What are you doing?
You have seen nothing!
I don't want to say what I think that joke meant, because I'm worried that it doesn't mean what I think it meant. But that was fun. I enjoyed that. I like hearing this stuff. This is old. I've never seen this video. Like, I've seen the normal one before, but like I never seen the bonus one. I never really watched any of the bonuses. So a lot of this will be original reactions when I get to these. So yeah, that's what I have to say for this reaction, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.